What's up, everyone? We're back, as always, after the intro. What's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Gio back again with another show of the Giojackson Show, the extravaganza, what you're always looking forward to start your week. As always, I hope your week's going amazing. Your guys' week going amazing. Whatever you guys got going on, taking care of it. For some of you guys, are you guys enjoying the vacation? For others, trabajadores like myself, we still got to work tomorrow, just for a little bit for me. But how's everyone doing? Are you guys ready for Christmas? I'm ready. I'm excited for the food, the vibes, the drinks, spending time with loved ones as always. I hope everything's good. Hope everything's right in the mind. Don't be stressed out. Don't be too anxious. Control what you can control. That's all you can do. But for the next, 45 hour, tune in, relax, get yourself some popcorn. We're going to have an amazing show to wrap up the year. Um, so let's just get started. San Francisco 49ers, their season is officially, it's not over, but playoff contention is over for them. In my book, the season's over. As I started, as we started the year, right? Talking about the 49ers. For me, it's Super Bowl or bust. Um, Making it to the playoffs, having a winning season, making it to the playoffs, but not winning the Super Bowl, it does nothing for me anymore. I want to win the Super Bowl. So this season has been an utter disappointment. Yes, the excuses have, there's been so many, right? Injuries, holdouts, regression, kicker play, coaching, whatever you name it. Yes, there's been some that have been unfortunate, personal stuff to some of the players. I get that. But overall, my gripe with the Niners always has been the excuses that they put on themselves. They never blame themselves. It's always something out of their control, which this past game was the O line play. Uh, I saw a lot of talk after, during, on basically on social media. The O line play's been garbage, trash. And yes, I will agree. But I feel like we've seen this coming for a long time. I've always, especially at the start of the season, right? I feel like the Niners, they should have used their draft to get some O line help. Especially this draft was known for there was a lot of tackles out there, right? We hit on one, Dominic Pooney, who's been amazing for his rookie year, but man, Brindell, he garbage. But I was saying that since last year. McGiveth, as I like to call him, but I will say this: McKivitz, yeah, he's not good. He's not a good right tackle, but for what we're paying him, for what he's been able to do this season, he's been all right. And that's all we can ask for him. I'm not expecting him to be a Pro Bowl, all pro. But what I'm trying to get at is the O line hasn't been majority of what's fault for this season. Um, they've actually been better than last season. Yes, Trent Williams hasn't played, but he's been injured, and at this point, Jalen Moore was doing a okay job. Obviously, he cannot replicate All Pro, but he wasn't an issue. And the regression of Purdy this season has been, and I'm not blaming everything on Purdy. It's all a combination of everything: players' injuries, coaching, things that have happened, players quitting. It's all, this season has just been, from the get go, from losing that Super Bowl, something was off. But now, the big question that's going to be in this off season, and what we've been talking about for weeks, what we're going to continue talking throughout the off season, Purdy. So Purdy, my take on Purdy has always been, he's a great quarterback. Great, I always say great quarterback for where he was. So let's let's start right there, right? He's a seventh round, the last pick in the draft. His career already has been amazing for what that is, right? But we're not comparing him no longer to being the last pick in the draft, third string quarterback. We're comparing people are comparing him to the elites of the elites, the top five, the Burrows, the Lamar Jacksons, Josh Allen, Mahomes. He's being compared there because this is what kind of money he's asking for. Top dollar, 60 million, 50 million. And what I saw today from sometimes he has good takes, sometimes he doesn't. Colin Cowherd, he said that Purdy is a big if quarterback. And I actually agree with what he was saying. So if everything's around him is great, if the O line's great, if the offensive player of the year is right there as running back, if he has all his weapons, then he shows out, he balls. But if he wants to make $60 million a year, he has to elevate his team. He has to win these games that he hasn't been able to win. The big one was last Thursday. Winning that game was the key to keep the season going. And he had the opportunity this past game against Miami, even though, like I said, this game meant nothing for him. We're down 2 points, 17-19. If we score a field goal or we score a touchdown, we could potentially win the game. And yes, there was pressure in his face. He made a mistake. He threw. Was it his fault? Was it not? It is what it is. But to be the elite of the elite, you have to win these games. You have to put the team on your back. You have to elevate the players around you. A good example is Burrow. Burrow does not have a good defense, does not have a good all line. Yes, he has T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Even the running back's pretty good, but he's having an amazing season. Even though the team's doesn't have the best of records, he's putting up numbers. He's basically putting his end of the bargain, making plays, balling out. Could you, and I always say this, could you imagine him on the Niners? Could you imagine what he would do with just Debo, Jennings, and Kittle? And this is why I feel like I said, Purdy. Now, I mean, I was saying a couple weeks ago, 40, 45. Now I'm thinking at the most 40, 35. Maybe a 2-year prove it deal to see if you're worth that much. Because I will say this, Purdy, I want to see him one more year. Because let's think about it, right? Well, he's a solid, great quarterback. Yes, he's not the elite of the elite, but there's only five, right, that you would name. Is it far fetched to say, Purdy, we'll give you a 2-year deal? Let's say 3-year deal, two of it guaranteed for 100 million. That would make it what, like 30 something? Let's say 35 a year, 2 years, something like that. I don't think it's I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's disrespectful. Because if the Niners want to, because the Niners mentality is, hey, everyone's going to be back next year. No one's going to be injured again. We're going to run it back again. We've been running it back since we lost the Super Bowl against the Chiefs in 2019. Every year's been revenge tour, comeback season. We'll run it back. We'll run it back. But we can only do that so much. We need to, these past couple drafts, this draft hit, but the past couple ones, all the players that haven't made it, it's been crazy. So we need to start drafting well. We need to kind of rebuild, keep key players that are going to be here for the next couple of years. Kittle is one. Yes, he's older, but Kittle, my respects to Kittle. Sometimes I feel he's underappreciated. He's a Hall of Famer. He got to be here still. Jennings, Mustafa, Bosa, Warner, re-signing Greenlaw, re-signing Huff, Lenore. Everybody else, they're expendable. Debo, yes, he had a great game this past week. But why does he show up when it doesn't matter anymore? Where was this Debo last Thursday when we needed him? Where was this Debo throughout the season when we lost Ayuk? Um, I think we should try to trade him. Does it make sense? He's owed a lot of money. We'll see. But going forward, I mean, I think we should draft a quarterback. Definitely. But the biggest mistakes the Niners will make, and it'll be like what the Giants did with Daniel Jones, is paying Brock Purdy the 60 billion, 60, 55. I don't think he's worth it. I and I don't think he has any leverage. If you give him, the 35, 40 offer and he's like, I'm good, I'll sit out. Request a trade. Is the team really going to give up 2 first round picks for him? A first and a second, and then pay him 60 million? Like, I don't think he has any leverage. I don't think a team would do it. And if a team does it, well, 49ers, like, yeah, hey, Purdy, I'm grateful for everything you've done. You're a great story. But if a team's willing to give us 2 first round picks, bye. I'll drive you to the airport. Um, but that's where I'm at. I mean, and there's no hate on Purdy. I like Purdy. I'm not saying he's ass. He's not. He's good when everything's around him is good. When everything around him is good, he's great. And he makes plays, but I feel like this season he's made some mistakes. He's made some mistakes. And I just want to be calm. I want to have a quarterback that I feel like can win us the game, can put the team on his back. I want to know how that feeling is. And the 49ers haven't had that type of quarterback in almost 30 years. The last one being Steve Young. And I'm also tired of Niners fans just being content with being good, making it to the NFC Championship. Like, that's not the standard of this team. It's to win Super Bowls. That should be the standard. And I feel like sometimes Niners fans were afraid of change. I'm not saying fire Kyle. I think he deserves one. Doesn't deserve, but I think we should see what he has one more year. But también, let's not be scared of change. Let's not be scared of what's out there in the horizon, because I'm done. Like, losing Super Bowls. I've seen them lose 3 in my lifetime. I've never seen them win 1. And that's what I want. I want my team. And then Niners, they're my team. I invest money into them. I invest time into them. I talk about them. I spend usually on this show between 15 to 20 minutes talking about them. And I want to see them win. I want to see them be good. I want them to be the best. And that's the standard I have for them. And I'm sure they have that same standard. These players, they're professional players. But sometimes I feel like this team, they don't have that accountability. Some players do, but I feel like they don't look at themselves in the mirror, and it starts from the top with Kyle. Something ain't working, something hasn't been working. It's time to look at yourself so we can improve. The last thing about the Niners that I have is the Moody experience. Jake Booty. He's done, bro. I don't know why he made it back on the plane. It's time to cut him. It's time to move on. He just when you look at his face, man, he has no confidence. He was a 3rd round draft pick. The Niners have given him the opportunity. They've given him the time. They've given him more opportunity than they ever give Trey Lance, who they spent 3 first round picks on. Bro, he a kicker. Imagine, Niners. You could have got Aubrey undrafted. He's balling for he's probably the Cowboys' best player for nothing. I think after Kyle, his emotions during the game when he missed that field goal, which was 41. I mean, that should be easy. And I feel like with Moody is just the mental. He has a strong leg, but in the game that didn't matter. It didn't matter anymore. There's nothing to play for in this game. You still missed. It's time to go, bro. I'm sorry. It is what it is. It's the NFL. It's time to learn Chinese, buddy. That's what I got for the 49ers. I don't know. I mean, leave a comment if I have something I missed. Niners fans, what do you guys think? Is Purdy worth a 60? How much would you be? How much would you pay Purdy? What other quarterbacks are out there? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers will be available. He's like, I don't know if I wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers. Um, Obviously, Sam Darnold. We'll get into him a little bit later. Other than that, I mean, there's nothing much. And then in the draft, this draft's not it's not a good quarterback draft. Other from like the top two, which is Sanders and Cam Ward. So I don't know, slim pickings. I would say still keep Purdy, but not at 60 million. Last Niners news, obviously, should every player have a performance clause? Thinking about Ayuk, I think they have some contracts. They have what's it called? Like if you make the Pro Bowl, if you get a certain amount of touchdown yards, they have incentives. But as in like, oh, if you don't meet certain stats, you don't get paid like your full contract. I don't think players would agree on that because if one player does that, then that means there's a precedent for all teams to kind of give contracts like that. So I don't think they would want to do it. But I know they do have incentives. So if you make the playoffs, if you play X amount of games, especially if you have injuries. But for Ayuk, I mean, it can happen to anyone. ACL, MCL, and symptoms are add-ons though. We're talking about doing bare minimum and delivering bare minimum results. Like I said, I don't think players would ever, not even players, but like their agents would ever agree to a contract like that because then teams will, like I said, first of all, these contracts they're not all guaranteed, right? Um, Only a certain amount is guaranteed, and after that, it's kind of year by year. So players already don't like that. So I don't think the agents will want to set that up because. But I see where you're coming from, right? With Ayuk, but like I said, he wasn't having the best of season, and then the injury. I mean, it was a crazy injury, ACL, MCL, basically everything got fucked up. Um, and was I mean, good for him that he's insured, that he's gonna get paid money. Because imagine if he didn't get the contract, then he gets injured, he would have lost money, right? Um, but I don't think they'll ever do that. Speaking of injuries, big one. Dre Greenlaw, obviously scheduled to be a free agent after the season. Today, Kyle said it's up to him if he wants to play, but that they're gonna basically shut him down. And I think that's the best thing to do for Greenlaw. Um, no need for him to play these last two games. I think after the Rams game, the half that he played, Greenlaw's Greenlaw. I believe the Niners should sign him, re-sign him, maybe like a 1 to 2 year deal. He's a beast. He's a monster. And I think that's smart. And a lot of players spoke on that after the game, especially Warner, who's, I'm sure, they're best friends, saying that we should save Greenlaw from himself. Because obviously he's going to want to play, but what if he gets a crazy, what if he pops the other Achilles and now he's out another year? He should just relax, rest up. No need for him, like I said. Trent Williams shut down for the season. También, I mean, there's nothing to play with, nothing to play for, but he's not the only O lineman we lost. We lost Banks, I believe more. Is it time to shut down Purdy? I mean, the O line, like I said, we talked about the O line. I don't think is as bad, but now, third stringers are going to play different O linemen in different positions. Purdy's going to be running for his life these next, especially the Lions game coming up. The Lions, I feel, are going to be out for blood, revenge. I feel like they're going to try to beat us by like 50 points for what we did to them last year. So, I mean, if the game's out of hand by the first half, was, let's call it a wrap. Let's see Brandon Allen out there. But a lot to think for this Niners team in the offseason. Definitely O-line. O-line, let's invest. I feel like Kyle has never wanted to invest in the O-line. It's time to get a solid center. because, like I said, Brendel, he asked Pooney, we got a guy there. Trent Williams, I think he has one more year left. He's getting older. It's time to get a tackle of the future, play him as right tackle. And I don't know if we'll resign Aaron Banks. So another garbage. I think let's just invest in this O line. Let's, if we're gonna stick with Purdy, right? Let's just build a amazing team around him. But that's if Purdy, like I said, takes less. Purdy would have to take less. If he's getting paid, if he gets paid the 60 mil, then obviously we can't invest a mega team around him. We won't have money. But if Shanahan does the same thing again next year, he should be out. That's definite. Exactly. Need to see some concrete changes. And I feel like Kyle, he's stubborn. I don't think he will. And I don't know why. I mean, yes, he's an amazing offensive coordinator, play caller, play designer. But when things don't work out how he has envisioned or planned, I don't think he has I don't think he's able to make those adjustments, those changes definitely on the fly. And I feel like he sticks to like certain players, like the game plan around them, that if an injury happens, so for example, McCaffrey, I feel like the whole season was going to revolve around him. And when he got injured, he couldn't figure out a way, I don't know, to change the game plan around. It took him some time. But that first game, I mean, Mason, he looked great. I feel like if he would have used them similarly to CMC, it would have worked. Spread the ball more. Like you have Jennings, you have Kittle. At the time you had Ayuk, Debo, like be creative. Like don't be so hard headed and focus on things. But man, yeah, if he does the exact same, if they run it back, they pay Purdy 60 million. They run it back with all the players that have been injured. They don't invest in the O line. And again, we fall short. If we don't make it to the playoffs, yeah, it's over. But if we fall short in the playoffs, I don't know. I mean, next year's is a big year, and it starts with the draft. Being able to get a good player in the draft, we're going to be picking. Hopefully, man, be a blessing if we pick top 10. But 11, 12, 13, I say, we go. I don't know where McCaffrey's going to be at next year, but Genty, the running back, having him with McCaffrey, Mason, and just running the ball, running the ball, running the ball. That's going to open up a lot. I think that's the way to do it. Or if there's a whole lineman there, we take them. But we'll see. But if we go receiver again, but other than that, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if they went D lineman too. We need D line help, especially in the interior to stop the run. Bosa needs some help. So we'll see. Hopefully, there's just someone there that's easy. That's an easy pick that they don't overthink it and they do it when they pick Bosa. We'll see, man. That's enough Niners. But actually, one more Niners question that was asked, and I think I can answer it with your question, Alberto. Will we see a coaching change with the Niners or an extension for Purdy? I don't see a coaching change next year for the Niners unless Kyle steps down. But I don't. I feel like the Niners, the owners, they're scared of change. They're scared of having Tom Sula. When we let go of Harbaugh and we got Tom Sula, so I don't think they would do it. I don't think they have the balls to do it, to be that extreme. And I think Kyle has earned some equity with them. But like again, I don't know why we haven't won. A crazy stat I saw was the Niners have either not been to the playoffs or made it to the NFC Championship in the past 22 years. So in the past 22 years, they've made NFC Championship, Super Bowl, and they haven't won one. A lot of people were throwing out that stat as a flex, like, oh, either this team's ass or really good, but to not be able to win one in 22 years, I think that's not a flex. But I don't know. Maybe just being in the mix is all it takes to be happy. Not for me. Now, rest of the NFL. Is the NFC wide open? So for a long time, I had the Lions and later on the Eagles. That's probably the team representing the NFC. I still believe the Lions will represent the NFC, but is Sam Darnold legit? They're, I believe, 12-2, 13-2, something like that. Sam Darnold keeps connecting with Justin Jefferson, Addison. Their defense is good. Can they upset one of these teams and they win and beat Seattle in Seattle, the Sea Chickens? Obviously, they're going to have to play a couple playoff games on the road. And I think it will be tough going into Detroit. Their fans, they're going to be loud. Can they pull it off? The thing is, right, when you play your division, you kind of know their weaknesses and stuff. So that would be crazy. I still, like I said, I don't know. I feel like Sam Darnold will do Sam Darnold things. He hasn't yet. And the team is built around his strengths, his big arm. He has ball. I mean, Justin Jefferson, Addison, even Aaron Jones. But that's one. Another team who beat the Eagles this week was the Commanders. Jaden Daniels coming in clutch when it mattered, getting that win. I think puts them in a playoff berth. And they upset the Eagles. Can they have some upsets? I think they have, and that's the thing. And then this is what obviously we saw that last year with CJ Stroud, and CJ Stroud's having a sophomore slump. But I feel like Jaden Daniels, he doesn't have the best. He just has Terry McLaurin, his running backs. I mean, I don't feel like they have good running backs, but they're not like legit, right? But he's elevating this team. He's making plays when it counts. Yes, he had a lot of turnovers, but when it mattered most, he made the play to win the game. Can he do it? Maybe. I think I can see an upset for them, like one upset at least, but I still believe the Lions. The Lions will make it through. Represent the NFC. This season has been weird. Sam Darnold is but the season is making him look S tier, same as Mahomes. This season is making him look better than Brady. I think it's just the season. Hot take. I think Sam Darnold similar to Baker Mayfield, right? Baker for a long time, he had one good season with the Browns, but then people kind of wrote him off, right? He bounced around, went to Carolina. The Rams took a chance, found a home in Tampa Bay, right? And he's been good. Same with Jared Goff. I think quarterbacks they just need experience, and I feel like Sam Darnold didn't have the best of season, didn't have the best of career with the Jets, went to the Panthers, took a year with us, learned, but he just fell in the right situation with the Vikings. Yes, I do believe though, Sam Darnold is all right. He's gonna have to prove it to me in the playoffs. If he's able, man, to go to the NFC Championship, go to a Super Bowl, man, imagine he wins it, then I might have to change my conversation. But I need to see it because I still think deep down Sam Darnold is gonna do Sam Darnold things as Mahomes. Mahomes is Mahomes. Mahomes, he can turn it up in the playoffs. We've seen it. We saw it last season. He didn't have the best of season, but then in the playoffs, hey, you saw what he did. But I believe this season, I don't think the Chiefs are that good. I think either the Ravens or the Bills will take care of them in the playoffs. Um, and man, I mean, they have a pact with the devil or something with all these calls, all these things that happen to them, and it's going to catch up to them. And I can't wait to see Chiefs fans cry. Chiefs fans cry when they get a questionable call against them and they cry like, "Oh, our season's lost because of the refs." When, dude, the whole season, I've been. It's been like at first I was like, okay, it happens, missed calls, but every single game they've had a questionable call. They never get called for false starts. It's gonna come and bite them. I feel they're packed with the devil. The devil's gonna come cash his check with them. But and then Mahomes, man, faking this injury so people could be like, "Oh, look, Mahomes high ankle sprain, he was able to win." Like, bro, stop acting. But I think things will level out. I think as we get into my top five, I believe Bills, Lions. I still think that's going to be the Super Bowl, and Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen is going to pull it off. He's been playing great. He's him, but Lamar this past weekend too. He put his hand up. Like, don't forget about me. I'm still MVP candidate with Derrick Henry. I also wouldn't mind Lamar winning the Super Bowl. He gets a lot of hate, but I think, man, he's improved a lot. Obviously, he's a dynamic player who can. He's quick, mobile. He makes plays. I wouldn't be mad if they won the Super Bowl as well. Um, but we'll see. My top five, though, top five, Gio's power rankings. I'm gonna have to go with number one because they're 14-1 only. That's the only reason why they're number one. The Kansas City Chiefs. Then I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions, 13-2. They bounce back and they win another game, no injuries. Number three, the Minnesota Vikings, 13-2 as well. Good win against Seattle, a Seattle team that needed the win to be in playoff contention. Number four, I'm gonna go Buffalo Bills. They have who I think is going to be the MVP, Lamar Jackson there. And number five, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Eagles. They did lose, but I just think they're going to be a tough team in the playoffs if they're able to run the ball with that whole line. But I feel like Jalen Hurts could make a mistake throughout it. But that's my top five: Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota Vikings, the Buffalo Bills, and Philly. One thing I wanted to touch on for my contingency of Raider fans is Raiders doing Raiders things. The Raiders, they win. They defeat who they defeat? They're so irrelevant that I forgot who they defeated. Looking it up real quick, they beat the Jaguars, which is another ass team. But Raiders doing Raiders things. So the Raiders win, but in their win, I feel like they lost. They lost the opportunity of a Sanders because now they would pick six. They would have lost. I believe they would have had the number one pick, but they won. Now I believe they're picking sixth. And oof, imagine if they lose out on the quarterback. If they win, one more game or something. It's kind of what happened last year, right? They missed the opportunity of drafting high, getting a quarterback. But coach comes out and says, which is understandable, right? You play to win games, but obviously the Raiders need as a quarterback. So I just thought that was kind of dumb. They should have lost that game. No need. And you benefit Jacksonville because you beat them, so now they're gonna be under you. But Raiders fans, I mean, are you guys happy with the win? I mean, what does the win give you? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it was beneficial for them at all. But we'll see. Two more games left. Who do they have left? They play the Saints and then they finish off with the Chargers. They could beat the Saints. We'll say that. And the Chargers might need a win to make it to the playoffs, so that's a loss. So they might. That's crazy. They might beat the Saints, and it will not benefit them in any way. As for the draft, but hey, congratulations on the win. So a lot has been talked about Travis Hunter, current Heisman, current Colorado University player, and potential top 5 draft pick in this upcoming draft. But there's been a lot of talk about his situation. So if you guys didn't know, Travis Hunter, he won the Heisman, but he's been right now, he deactivated his social media because he's been getting a lot of hate because of his girlfriend, because his girlfriend has been outspoken, has kind of put trying to make the attention about her. The big thing was, I guess he was signing autographs, taking pictures with fans, and she got a little upset because she's like, "Oh, like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here, watch you?" And it's like, well, obviously he has some obligations with sponsors to sign, take pictures with fans, and yeah, you're supposed to be supportive. I mean, it's his time right now. You should be. It should be all about him preparing for the draft and not about you, Miss. And the only reason we know about you is because of him. But that's the little part, you know. Obviously, she's been getting hate, and that's the thing too. Like, we shouldn't focus on his relationship; it's his business. But when you put it out there in social media for everyone to see, people are gonna make, people are gonna give their opinions, right? And I guess what came out now is there's a video of her going to parties and twerking on other dudes, and it's like, bro, you young Travis Hunter, you're probably never gonna see this. But Travis, young blood, I'm gonna give you unk advice. You're about to make a lot of money in the NFL. You're about to be famous. I think you need to focus on yourself, King. Be the great player. Focus on you. Be an amazing player. Be a baller. Go ball out. Get your bread. It's time to cut loose ends. It's not worth it. It's been more of a headache from what I've seen, especially her coming out to social media and trying to defend herself, and even like kind of putting you down. Like, oh, at first, I didn't even notice him, but then he became this amazing player, and then I noticed him. Red flag right there. So, King, focus on you. Stick to, be the best player you can be, and eventually the right one will come. The right one will come. Be supportive. Have your back. That's all I gotta say, Travis Hunter. You don't know me, but that's my 2 cents on this. We go to football, and Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. They have the opportunity to close in the gap with Liverpool, actually be first place for a little bit. Yes, Liverpool still has one game in hand, but they tied 0-0 against Everton. Everton, the past 2 weeks, have tied against Arsenal 0-0, and now Chelsea. Frustrating, frustrating. Stay humble, eh? Stay humble, eh? But frustrating for Chelsea. Um, Even though, like I said, I'm happy with top four making it to Champions League, but obviously, if the opportunity is there to potentially win the Premier League, go for it. Still a lot of league left, but these are games where we can't lose. We didn't lose points. We tied, but getting three would have been. We would have continued this winning streak. But especially against Everton, yes, Everton away is tough, but Liverpool came and they annihilated Spurs. So Spurs, come on, y'all can't help us out. 6-3. So Liverpool, top of the table, I believe, 5 points, and it's us. Then Arsenal, but as my good friend Alberto says, is Man City staying humble? Man City again. They continue losing. This is it's getting worrisome now. I've never seen a downfall this bad since Tony's. So I don't know. I mean, I'm looking when we play Man City. I'm looking at it as an easy game now. I might eat my words, but I don't know what's going on with this team. They were a juggernaut. They were top of the top of the. We were saying like, man, when are they gonna? They've won like what five consecutive Premier Leagues. They finally got the Champions League, but this team right now, and I think what's going to happen is Pep is going to come out and say, I need a break again, as he did with Barcelona, as he did with Bayern. Maybe, yeah, it's time for something new, a new change, new philosophy. But to have all these to on paper, right? These players that they have and keep losing like this, I don't know. I don't think there's an excuse for that. But I don't know, the maybe the 10 Man City fans in the world, they don't care. I mean, now they're either Liverpool fans. They might have jumped in our wagon with Chelsea. They might have jumped off the Barca bandwagon right now too and come back to the Real Madrid wagon. But for the 10 legit Man City fans out there, it is what it is. Speaking of Manchester United, they lose at home. This downfall, I mean, has been happening for many years, and is the only downfall that legit. Whenever I look at the scores in the morning and saw, oh man, Man City lost again, I love it. I live for this. That's a team that I honestly wish the worst on. It brings me joy just seeing them time after time, year after year, coach after coach, player after player, just be complete ass. I love it. Barca got flicked into third place. Damn, Alberto on fire today with the memes. But yes, they lost against Atletico, and they got to get their shit together. And we were speaking about this, Alberto. The break is going to come well for them because Real Madrid clicking right now. They're clicking, and if they're able to push away, it's going to be tough for Barca. I have that same energy as you. I have that same energy as you and Manchester. For Manchester City, right? Now, Manchester United, man, I've always hated that team. I just, ah, that's a team. The Dodgers, them and the Dodgers. Those are the either, yeah. Them and the Dodgers, man. Those are teams I freaking hate. Like, it was so painful. The Dodgers sweeping the freaking Yankees, man. I hate that team. But that and Tony is another that I honestly just wish the worst upon. Like when I hear all these things bad happen to him, it honestly brings me joy. And the Seahawks. Yeah, I mean, but the only reason for me is because of Tony. But the Dodgers and Manchester United, I legit hate with a passion. Like it's a sport for me. Like seeing that downfall, amazing. But yeah, man, Barca fans, ¿qué está pasando? What happened? Y'all were looking great. Bit of a slip. Was it an illusion? Is it just y'all need the break? I still think, they have a great team, they have a good coach, but they need to step it up because now Atletico's up there. Like I said, Real Madrid's clicking, and we called this at the beginning of the season. When Real Madrid clicks, if they don't click, it need to stick. But once all of them they figure it out with a coach like Ancelotti, they're gonna be dangerous. They're gonna be hard to beat. They could only be Pachuca 3-0, I will say, but no, I mean that team's just a beast. And once they start getting some players back, Alaba, as you've mentioned, oof. Barca forgot it's a marathon, not a sprint. Yes, exactly. Um, but I was asked, are we ever going to have a Tank and G show reunion? As always, I'm open to it. Um, Definitely, I would love to have a Tank and G show reunion. Maybe I might set it up and I might not announce it, and it'll be a big surprise. But definitely, man, shout out Jaime. Hopefully you're doing good, man. Hit me up. I definitely would love to do that. Again, that's who I started with. My OGs, y'all know, it was amazing, amazing times. We started it together, and if you're out there, Jaime, let's do it, man. I'm down. I'm ready to make it happen for the fans. The fans been wanting it. They hit me up. It's amazing. Nah, that shit was ass. Barcelona this game? Hi, Pepis. Are we hopping on Marvel Rivals later? I'm ready. Now we get to the fun questions we got here. I think that's it for sports. But Bonnie asked top 5 songs of all time. For me, I'm very biased, and I feel like we've covered this before. But for me, or like if we had to like all time like make a list, get some votes. Okay, number one would have to be if we had to vote, right? Billie Jean. For me, it would be "Rock with You." That's my favorite Michael Jackson song. But Billie Jean, we gotta have some Elvis. So one of Elvis songs has to be there. A Beatles song, a Beatle, the Beatles. Yep. Who else? Like I said, very. Obviously, I'm biased, right? I think Michael, but even if aliens were to come and we had to tell them about music, Michael Jackson got to be up there. There's no question. No question. Nah, you forgot Vinny Jr. and the International Cup. That is that he is. Um, but Michael Jackson got to be up there. Like I said, Elvis, the king of rock, the Beatles. We go old school like Frank Sinatra, Stranger in the Night, right? Maybe some Nat King Cole. We go super old in Spanish. We gotta go Vicente Fernandez, Chente. Definitely not Taylor Swift at all. Cheap, bum, overrated, trash. Clip it, Swifties, clip it. I don't understand her music. Bum. Look what she did to Travis Kelsey. He has now. Pobrecito. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying to Travis Hunter earlier. Focus on yourself, Kings, because these women, they're sent to this world to put us down. So this is why I always say women deserve less. Focus on yourself, Kings. Motivate. Cuando estás así single, you can do whatever you want. Peace and quiet. No extra anxious, no extra stress. So focus on yourself, Kings. I'm being facetious. I know. I'm kidding. There's wonderful women out there that I'm being funny. So am I? Pero, pero bien, pero bien. When "You Belong with Me" comes out, you're singing. That's different though. That's a good song, but it's more of a trolley song. You belong to me. Um, but yeah, leave a comment. What top 5 songs? I know who's not gonna be up there. Tech Nine. He asked. But maybe some Queen. We did leave out Queen. Uh, how about some NSYNC? They got some band. Britney. We go a little bit rap wise. Some Snoop. We got a Tupac. 50. He deserves some love. 50. He definitely balling. Mariah Carey. Definitely love that. I came to have a party. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Top 5 chicken nuggets or tender locations. Bonnie, you always ask me. I know I'm big, but I'm not. I'm not a big restaurant foodie person. I enjoy the simple life. I enjoy a nice burger. Uh, I don't go around, eating at places. But I would say, okay, chicken nuggets, tender locations. I really like Starbird. When I've had it, I think they're pretty good. Pero casi así the chicken nuggets, tender location, no tengo. I'm sure there's good places out there. So recommend them. I'll check them out. But if I had to pick, I can't give you a top 5. I can give you Starbird. That's about it. Shit, I can even give you like Wingstop, right? Because if you get boneless, that's technically a chicken nugget, right? So Wingstop is another option. A good Nashville chicken sandwich, though, is by my job called the Woodside Roadhouse. That's good. I would recommend it definitely. Have you had an actual starboard or just the Levi's? No, like the actual starboard, like when I used to work at my other job during COVID, they would provide lunch and we would get starboard. So like the salads or the Nashville chicken sandwich. So I've actually had it. Actually, I don't think I've had it at Levi's though, to be honest. To be honest with you. Um did I miss out? Is there I know there's another like drumstick chicken place in downtown. My brother always gets. It's pretty good too. Don't know the name of it, but like I said, not much of a foodie person like that. What would your honeymoon destination be? So straight off the bat, never getting married, don't believe in marriage. So if I had to pick, if that day were to come, which it won't, um, hmm, I mean the cliche ones, you could say Hawaii. I need to go back to Hawaii, conquer my fear. Hawaii would be one. Maybe like I don't know, like Puerto Vallarta, something like that. London for if I had a London for me, I know what honeymoon, but for me to go watch Chelsea play in Stamford Bridge, that would be great, amazing. My type of weather, cold, rainy, gloomy. That's my weather. I'm not much of a tropical guy, but I would say that. Or yeah, I don't know. Bonnie, where are you going for your honeymoon? Also, congratulations, Bonnie. He recently got married this past weekend. I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but can't wait for the big one. So, congratulations, Bonnie and Jackie. Thank you guys. Bonnie for leaving questions, Jackie for checking out the shows always. I heard it was fun. I heard the Bonnie rolls were on fire that day, but congrats. But I don't know. I would say that's pretty cliche for me. Hawaii. We'll leave it at Hawaii. Easy. Cliche as cliche can be. But sometimes I mean, it's Hawaii, man. I mean, no, hey, I know people try to be outside the box and I don't know, go to like the Grand Canyon or something. Not me. Actually, you know what? Antarctica. That's where I want to go for my honeymoon. Go to Antarctica, be right there in the snow with a couple polar bears drinking Coca Colas. That's what I'm choosing, Antarctica. So, because you know it matches my heart, cold, like Palmer. Um, All right. Christmas. Christmas is right around the corner for us, you know, Latinos. We celebrate tomorrow. Cannot wait. So, best Christmas movies. Number one for me, The Grinch. The Grinch with Jim Carrey shaped our childhood. That for me is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. Amazing quotes. Jim Carrey at his best. That's one. Home Alone, one or two. That's another good Christmas movie. Santa Claus, putting out there, not one of my favorites, but you know, it is a famous one. Definitely. Die Hard is technically a Christmas movie. Harry Potter is technically a Christmas movie because they celebrate Christmas. So that's a good one to watch, especially on the 25th. Cuando no está haciendo nada. Harry Potter marathon. That's one. I forget the name of it, but it's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he's trying to find that toy for his kid and he goes all around I think like Christmas Eve trying to find it and Ken, that's a good Christmas movie as well. I keep forgetting the name of it. That's a good one. Isn't there one called The Christmas Story, older one? Like I said, I'm putting it out there because gotta be up there. Jingle All the Way, yes, Four Christmases. That's Jingle All the Way, Alberto. Thank you. Four Christmas. Remind me, Nene, which one's that one? What about the one with Adam Sandler, animated like Eight Crazy Christmas Nights something? You could put that one out there too. Um, we got the Grinch. Da, da, da. Is there a big one I'm missing? Thinking Disney. There's actually one when I was a kid. I used to watch. It was like a Mickey Mouse Christmas special. I remember, which that brings me to this one. This one that I put. What's y'all fondest Christmas memory? Um, Elf. Oh, CCC Elf. Yes. Vince Vaughn and his girlfriend have to go to four Xmas with their dysfunctional family. Hella funny. Okay, I'm gonna need to watch it. I actually never watched it. Then Elf is one. Pepe's is Terrifier 3 considered a Christmas movie. I'm gonna have to put it up there. It is takes place in Christmas. I don't recommend it, but it takes place in Christmas. Fuck that movie, man. But what is y'all fondest Christmas memory? It definitely got to be watching that movie, that Mickey Mouse like movie for Christmas, because I still remember how I felt, the build up, and I feel like the build up when you're younger for Christmas, right? It just feels so long. Like it feels like, man, when is it? It feels like 2 months. Like that week when you got out of school, and then it's like, all right, there's 2 weeks for Christmas. Like you're just waiting. Obviously, you're waiting because you want to open the presents. But as we get older now, man, it's like the other day I was like, oh shit, next week's Christmas. But I feel like just that build up to Christmas, very touching. The next, what I remember, Christmas, hanging out with your cousins, playing either, Smash Bros or Wii, or playing games, opening the presents and playing with the toys that you get. That's always amazing. Or everyone being together. I remember when I was younger, my family, everyone like together. That's what I enjoyed the most. Like when I say everyone, like uncles and like everyone having a great time, laughing. I think that's what's great about Christmas. Because over time, right? People go their own ways, they start their own families. Y pues yeah, it becomes smaller and smaller. And it's still great, right? But I feel like if you guys could relate, like when you were younger, cuando se armaban todos, like that's what's great. Waking up early, trying to be quiet, playing rock band drum sets in the morning. See stuff like that. That's memories. Or like on the 25th, right? Waking up. I remember like I would always get like the remote control cars, playing with them, like my dad helping me put the batteries on it so I can play. I remember I had a Grinch one, like remember in the movie Grinch where he steals a small car, so I had a remote control one of those. That's great. When y'all family had you, and I take a couple quiz when all couples were being asked questions. When y'all family had you, and I take the couple quiz when all couples were being asked questions. When y'all family had you, and I take the couple quiz when all couples were being asked questions. I don't get it. I don't get it. But okay, when y'all family had you, so when they had me, I take the couple quiz when all couples were being asked questions. I'm lost in it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You get it though. I'll get it. I'll get it. That Fortunately this year, another thing that we didn't do with our group of friends was our typical white elephant parties. I also enjoy those as well. It's not too late to do it, but as we get older and as the families expand, shout out Hema, my niece, they're gonna have those memories. They will have that and they'll look back on it, uncle this, uncle that, tia this, tia that. So wherever you guys celebrate Christmas, enjoy it, live it. Like I said earlier in the show, I don't know if you guys were here. Don't stress. Don't be anxious. Just enjoy it. Enjoy these moments with the fam or friends. When they asked us, you and I, questions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. I remember now. And do not play me still. Do not play me still. Shout out Coach Julio. When do y'all celebrate Christmas though? Me, definitely. We just got our first Xmas tree. Better late than never. I thought, yeah. I mean, that's a memory, right? This is right. Yes, Emma's first Christmas. Wow. No, you're right. That's a Hopefully you guys took pictures, but that, like I said, that's a memory, especially for you and Bane, that you guys are gonna have forever, right? And then the first Christmas with baby Hema, she may not remember, but those pictures, like I said, because we all look at those pictures, right, when we're babies and Christmas, and then you tell stories of how what everything was. That's great, man. Send me the pic. 24th. That's the right answer. The 25th is usually a day as you get older now is to recover from hangover, but chill, watch movies, recalentado. There'll be some football that day. Obviously, basketball's big. Um, but what do people do on the 20th? Like what do people really do on the 25th, right? I mean, like I said, in my life, I've never celebrated Christmas on the 25th. Like, I know people will celebrate with other family members, right? That they couldn't see on the 24th. But like, what's the thing to do on the 25th? Is it like a brunch, a dinner, breakfast? Like, I know you wake up, right? Like, technically, you're supposed to wake up in the morning and that's when you open your gifts. But like, to me, it's always been watch a movie, watch some sports, sleep, nothing much. Um, but yeah. Last topic or last thing is the infamous Geo movie reviews. So this past weekend, I actually went to see a movie, Mufasa, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I've heard a lot of people not like it. I've heard a lot of people complain about the storyline about it. No spoilers here, but I will say I did enjoy it. I thought it was better than the first Lion King movie, the like the live action one, and I was very intrigued by it. It was a good movie. The I feel like their expression, yes, it's more real life, but their expression was more. You could see the expression of the lions and stuff, and I thought it was a good movie. I do recommend it. So if y'all need to watch a movie, there's that one. Coming up movies that I'm excited for is Nosferatu. I'm a big old school movie guy. This is a super old movie. Came out in 1920. They're remaking it, obviously. Comes out, I believe, this week. That's one I would like to watch. The Superman trailer. Full disclosure, not much of a Superman fan, but this trailer, I liked it. I'm intrigued. I want to see it. It's still Batman on me. Pause. That's a pause. Batman, I still think is the best DC character, but I'm intrigued for the Superman, especially with all the little characters that will sprinkle in the trailer. The trailer doesn't give much. It's not a lot of much talking. So looking forward to that. Other than that, I don't know. What movies are you guys looking forward to? What else is coming out? What else has been out? I still haven't watched Venom or Craven. I want to check those out, even though I've heard mixed reviews, but I want to see it for myself. Actually, last week with with Tony, we went to go see a Daft Punk movie, which is basically, and y'all know I don't like anime, but it was anime, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that movie. It's a old movie, but they brought it back into theaters, and basically each song from that album, like it's a story. So each song has a story to it, and it was great. I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I think it's even on YouTube, or on YouTube they'll tell you how to watch the different music videos in order to get the storyline. So that's one. But what movies will you guys be watching? I think I'm gonna watch The Grinch. Definitely on the 25th. Need to check that out. But we're here an hour. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, to the family, to everyone. As I said earlier, enjoy it, live it, be in the moment with your loved ones. I hope everyone has an amazing time. I hope you guys, like I said, leave the stress outside. Don't worry about it. If you forgot this, if you forgot that, da 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 da. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you guys for always being here, supporting me. We're still at 92 subscribers. Can we get 8 more to hit the 100? So leave a like, share, tell your neighbor, tell your baby mama, tell your side piece, tell your sugar daddy, sugar mama, your friend, your neighbor. Let them know about the Giojackson experience because in 2025, we're going to come bigger, faster, stronger, better, 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 stronger. Dun, 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 dun. But most likely, this is the last show of the year. Like I said, we'll be back January. Maybe I'll sneak another one in. We'll see. If there's crazy sports stuff, I'll be back. But thank you guys. Have a great night. Peace out. Much love. See you later. See you later. See you later. See you later.